I've been unbelievably lucky to play with incredible drummers over my career. Folks like Lewis Nash, Ulysses Owens Jr., Jeff Tain Watts, and even just yesterday, the legendary Bernard Purdie. All these experiences really reinforce the importance of the bass and drums connection. As you might know, when it's hitting, there is no feeling like it on the bandstand or in the entire world. When it's not really happening, you can't wait for the gig to be over. Well, imagine that instead of leaving it up to chance, you had tools that would allow you to build and strengthen your relationship between the two instruments and create an unstoppable force of swing that will make the frontline horn players turn around in appreciation mid-tune. To share this with you, I enlisted the help of my friend, colleague, and rising star drummer Krishan Darby to join me in sharing ideas and insights into the bass and drums relationship. We have an extended course that we call Walkin' with the Ride, Transform Your Bass and Drums Connection. In the course, Krishan and I share advice and tips and playing demonstrations that will solidify that bass and drums collaboration. We'll cover things like what to listen for in each other, what to listen for on the bandstand, how to solve problems, including problems with time feel, and whether it's important or not to know each other's favorite ice cream flavor. We talk about ways that each instrument can help or hurt the musical experience, with conversations and playing examples that show how the bass and drums can work together to negotiate a more synchronized, responsive, and powerful team that will uplift the entire band. If you've already experienced the magic of a great connection between bass and drums, join us for some new perspectives that will help to solidify that relationship. If you haven't been lucky enough to get this indescribable feeling yet, just wait. Join us to learn ways to make this feeling a reality for yourself. Let's light a fire under those frontline members and make everyone sit up and take notice. Here's an excerpt from the course that I hope might be helpful for you. Check it out. Welcome to Learn Jazz Bass with Matt Rubicki. I'm so glad that you are here, hopefully again from part one, talking with Krishan Darby, who is a dear friend and a great drummer. And he has a YouTube channel too, which is...
LC Darby Percussion.
Yes, so please go and follow Krishan. He's got a lot of cool things going on, and he's a great human being and a great drummer too. So the first video we talked about general sound things and listening things. And in this video, I want to talk about time feel, or just general feel, related to the bass and the drums. Right now I'm noticing as I look that I should be turning a little bit more to you from our other video. I want to let Krishan see a little bit more of my finger as I play, but I'm more comfortable facing the camera as usual at home. Anyway, thank you for being here, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So one thing that is special about us that I wanted to share is it is special in general when you meet a partner in the bandstand who has sort of similar experiences or a similar take on what the time feel is. Mm-hmm. There's sort of a natural default quarter note, for lack of a better word. Like where I feel the time is where Krishan often feels the time, if not always. And so there's not a lot of work to be done. But the question is, what if it could be better? What can we do? And how can we address things that, might come up? And we can always be better.
Absolutely.
As you saw in the first video, we had a little bit of a conversation that was revealing to both of us. So we know a little bit more about each other now, and we're going to play differently together. even though we have a similar sense of where the beat is, there still is an aspect of compromise and democracy that has to take place
Yeah.
between the two of us, between everybody really, but we're just talking about bass and drums.
Mm-hmm.
There's an element of compromise that has to take place. And I wonder if you have some thoughts about ways that you might, if anything, adjust to what a bass player is doing if it's not automatically going like you want it to.
Yeah. So, first of all, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
One of the first things I think about is where in the beat is the bass player. So, like Matt said, we both feel the beat very similar, which is more in the center of the beat. But I have played with other bass players who prefer to play at the front of the beat or behind the beat. So, my first step in thought process is, where is the bass player in the beat? And in thinking of that in the beat, I think of the beat as a line. And so is the bass player, if this is the line, is the bass player here? Is the bass player more up here? Or is he more back here? And I'm adjusting myself to find where he is. So ultimately we're lined up together. And even if I'm just a little bit behind him or a little bit ahead of him, as long as it's in the same space where we can move together. Like how we talked about traveling at the different altitudes. You do that in time as well, where you find a space where it sounds good and it feels good together, and then you start to move together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well said. When you are considering that about the bassist,
Mm-hmm.
a aware, engaged bass player, those of us that are engaged, will try to be cognizant of the fact that we need to find each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're trying to sort of hear where I would be.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything that I can do that would help you either make that distinction or come to more to where you want to be, for example?
So, two things I would look for. Number one, if you are in a very strong place of the beat, stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel like the bassist is playing in the center of the beat, I want them generally to stay where they are and allow me to come to them, because with them being the foundation and the bridge of the harmony and the rhythm, they are essentially the bottom. You know, I think of it like the house, like when you're building a house. You have to prep the land before you put a foundation down. They are the land prep. I am the foundation on top of the land prep. So I want, generally speaking, if you're in a good spot, I want you to stay there and allow me to adjust to you. Now, if it is a place where me adjusting to you becomes impossible, then you would essentially do the same thing I just spoke about, which was find out where I am in the beat. If I'm staying in the, so you're listening for a consistent spot first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the most consistent spot, whether it's the bass or the drums? If the drum is in a more consistent spot than the bass player needs to go to the drummer. Mm-hmm. If the bass player is in a more consistent spot than the drummer should go to the bass player. Mm-hmm. But you have to listen for that consistent beat.
I'm going to try and do what is going to be hard for me, which is to try to not play exactly right. Can we play? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try to play either inconsistently or behind or something. And what I'm going to try to do is find you.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than you find me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. How about like Yardbird Suite? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I did. I succeeded at being not where I wanted to be. I'm sure that was not comfortable for Krishan.
It wasn't.
No, you're right. So, but what I did was I was trying to think in the moment. Okay, how would I explain this to somebody else that was watching what I was doing to try to find him? And that would be, I started to listen to him first. I tried to, I tried to make what I was doing subordinate to hearing him. Then I tried to choose a repeating pattern on some part of the drums that I could feel was very secure. Now, everything he was doing is very secure because he's a good drummer, but I was trying to find what was the thing. In this particular situation, even though in the other video I said I want to listen to the ride more often, I didn't find the security there. I found the security in the hi-hat.
I can understand why, because I was playing a varied ride cymbal. And I was thinking, because when I was playing, you said we was doing Yardbird Suite.
Right.
And if you know the tune, you'll notice that I was playing the melody between the right and left hand. So it actually was not a secure spot to look.
Which is good, but it's good because then it allowed me to be able to say to you all, okay, so I focused in then on the hi-hat, and that's where I found the place. Now, it's easier for me because it's just natural at this point to do it, but nonetheless. So I think that those kinds of things where we are listening to ourselves last, if at all possible. Ben Wolf said that to us at school. It's a very hard thing to do, but if you can remind yourself to try, it will change the music entirely, to listen to yourself last on the bandstand.